Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for the Cuckoo's Fiancee, Chapter 58. When we last left our heroes, Hero moved in, angry at the thought of having to meet her fiancé, which in her mind would then quickly lead to her living with her fiancé and then getting married to her fiancé. And if Nagi and Erika are any indication, she might not entirely be wrong for at least part of that. So she's kind of forced her way into the Amano Umino house, and which everyone is like more than happy to accommodate her, except for kind of Sachi, but Nagi's too horny to really resist, and Erika is just super happy to have her best friend live with her. And a discussion of room arrangements leads to Nagi getting kind of stuffed into the storage room while Hiro steals his room, which then leads to a conversation between Nagi and Erika in the storage room, where it looks like Erika is about to say that she wants to be engaged to Nagi for herself and not just to make her parents happy, and then Nagi instantly refers to their whole engagement as self-sacrifice and ruins the whole thing. And that's where we left off. So let's jump right on into Chapter 58. Who was Umino-kun's first crush? Okay. And so we open with Nagi, Erika, and Sachi in the living room kitchen arrangement. Erika is like relaxing on the couch on her phone. Sachi is studying, and Nagi is doing the dishes. And then all the lights go out. And in walks Hiro, like underlit by her phone, trying to look as creepy as possible. Tonight is horror night, and everyone kind of looks at her, stunned and a little confused. And I guess Hiro just kind of jumps in. Are you all familiar with Kokkuri-san? And Nagi kind of raises his hand, as does Sachi. I guess I've heard of it. It's the thing where you use a coin, right? It was really popular back in elementary school. And Erika's kind of stunned. What? I've never heard of it. And then Hiro kind of exposits. It was originally derived from a type of seance called table turning that came from American ships in the Meiji era. In Japan, the ritual summons the spirit of a fox and is really popular, right? Wow, Kokkuri-san goes way back, doesn't it? And Erika kind of pouts, but why a fox spirit? Can't it just be aliens? Erika-chan, Sachi sort of like looks at her, and Hiro just cuts her down. Nope. Aw, why not? And Nagi just thinks negotiations are short when Seigwa-san is around. And everyone kind of all like puts their finger on the coin. I think that's Erika with a little, like, bow on her nail. Nice little bit of detail there. Everyone else has seemingly natural nails. All right, everyone, put your finger on the coin. Oh, wow, you're crushing my finger! Shut it, Nagi. That feels like... I think that's Sachi. That feels like a Sachi line. Anyway, Kokkuri-san, come out. And then Erika, I think that's Hiro, and Erika kind of panics. What? If you come out, then please move to yes. And the coin seemingly moves to yes. No way, for real? How? Why? It actually moved. Erika's getting like really into this because I guess she's just never done anything like this. But Nagi kind of teases at Sachi. Hey Sachi, I can see your arm flexing. And Sachi just kind of deflects. My arm's always been like this. And Hiro ignores them. It looks like we've successfully summoned the spirit. Alright, for starters, let's ask an easy question. She opens with, are Erika-chan's Instagram photos unedited? And Erika snaps, who, me? And then it all moves to, the actual lines on the not Ouija board are unedited, or untranslated, so I don't actually know what that says. It looks like it is the same character for Yes, that we see earlier when the game starts. Anyway, and Erika's kind of starting to panic. Oh man, this is getting kind of scary. Nagi laughs. Ha, I won't fall for this game's tricks. You can't get me with your group hypnosis. In that case, question. The pudding I left in the refrigerator. Who ate it? And Nagi's just already kind of plotting. I know it was you, Sachi. You were the one who ate my pudding, and you're also the one moving the coin, aren't you? In the name of Kokkuri-san, I'll take my pent-up resentment and turn this game into a public execution. And if Sachi is the one kind of in charge, she's just gonna lie. She's just gonna say it was him. And it moves to 3 characters. I can't read it, so I don't know exactly what it's pointing to. And it was apparently Erika. How did it know? And Nagi snaps, it was you? Which, like it would just be Sachi lying, my first thought. But Erika's reaction implies it is genuine. But not even Nagi is kind of starting to internally panic here. It can't be. Does Kokkuri-san really exist? I mean, if Sachi's controlling it, she still, would know that it wasn't her. Nagi is, really starting to breathe heavy as Sachi grins. Which, is hella suspicious. Next question, then. This is Sachi. Who was my first kiss? And everyone just kind of turns to her stunned. Huh? What are you even asking? You... and Hiro kind of laughs. Oh, you mean you've already kissed someone before? And Sachi gives a really weird response to that question. Well, I wonder. Wouldn't you know? And it lands on Na. And Erika is kind of shocked. No way! Nagi-kun? Nagi panics. What? And then he flashes back to... I think, is that chapter 23, which led to, I think 23, I won't swear by any chapter numbers, but the one that led to, Nagi's, I used it as a thumbnail once, just pretend nothing happened, I think was the line. I think so, I don't remember the exact text, because it's been several months since then, but Nagi kind of freaks out. No, that was... And Hiro looks at him, kind of judgmental. So you did? And Nagi kind of freezes. And then it changes to Namie. And Nagi kind of sighs. Oh, it was just Mom. Me too, then. And Sachi responds, when Mom gets drunk, she turns into a kiss monster. And then Sachi turns to Hiro. But say, Hiro-san... You're looking awfully sweaty there and kind of relieved, aren't you? Which, I think there's a lot sort of being implied in that line. That she's kind of worried that it would have been Nagi, which would then make her uncomfortable because she's into Nagi, if she is into Nagi. But I'd also kind of expect Sachi, even if she's just playing the teasing sister, to kind of dig into Nagi there instead of Hiro. I don't know. Anyway... And Hiro kind of fans herself. Well, it's summer, I guess. It sure is hot. And Nagi is just sort of kind of getting panicked. Hey, why isn't Sachi getting scared? Has she been possessed by the fox spirit? And Sachi just glares at him. You're the possessed one here. And Erika, now with fox ears and a tail. Sachi-chan, do you believe in Kokkuri-san? Erika, when did you get into cosplay? When did she not get into cosplay? That's been her whole thing. So next would be Erika's turn. Alright, and Erika asks it, which part of a girl's body does Nagi-kun check out first? Just rip into him, Erika. What kind of question is that? That's messed up. And Erika glares at him. Payback for the pudding. I'm the one looking for payback here. And we see... Sachi is kind of blushing, which, okay, uncomfortable, as we all know, as has been well documented. But then Hiro lights up. It moved! And it lands on a character. E? Please stop, Kokkuri-san. Not in front of these 3. Why? And E? That's sweet of him. Eyes, okay? Girls are people too. It's only natural. But okay. We don't know how genuine that is, but okay. I do love. I love specifically Erika's reaction to I. She's just like so confused by the concept. I don't know how this happened, but thank God. So that kind of implies that like the game is wrong there. Anyway, Hiro kind of looks away. Kokkuri-san won't tell on him, huh? And Sachi looks at her. What's that supposed to mean? Alright, last round. My turn. This is Hiro, who asks our title line, who was Umino-kun's first crush? And Nagi just turns to her, me again? And Erika's embarrassed. You're going to ask that? And Hiro responds, sure. After all, Kokkuri-san knows everything, right? We can't pass out on an opportunity like this. And Sachi's kind of sweating. Well, I guess. And Hiro, who I think we have had confirmation back during the Villa arc, that Hiro does definitively know about Sachi's feelings for Nagi. So this might actually be more pointed towards Sachi than Nagi. Anyway, Sachi kind of pouts and turns away. It moved! And it lands on I, who... Oh, what if I is the neighbor girl from 56, who just kind of was brought up last time, or 2 chapters ago, and I kept saying in my last video how I thought that the neighbor girl might come back as a new love interest. We shall see. We shall see. Erika kind of panics. What? You mean it wasn't even Hiro-chan? Hiro laughs. So it would seem. So who's I then? And Hiro has this kind of grin as she looks at Sachi. And I think this is Erika again. What's going on? And then Sachi just kind of turns to him, like, dark. Come to think of it, there was somebody like that who you were close with. But to think that she was your first love... and Nagi just kind of responds, no, I really don't. And then he flashes back, sorry, Nagi-kun. I'll respond to your confession next time we meet, okay? And yeah, I'd have to, let me try to go back to 56 real fast, very quickly. If I can't find it, I'll drop it. Compare her to the neighbor girl from 56. Yeah, here she is on page 10. And she could be. Her hair... Yeah, actually, I think she probably is. Because she has the heavy bangs between her eyes in both. Her eyes are clearer in this flashback scene in 58, but also her hair is kind of windswept. So yeah, I think I is the neighbor girl. Okay, so yeah, like I was kind of suggesting during 56, she's definitely coming back. There is no way that she gets built up this much. And does not enter into the rom-com drama. Which, alright. It's kind of a distinctive, if I forcefully ignore Sachi, which I always try to do when it comes to the romance plot lines, move from the kind of classic love triangle and kind of sister that we're not going to talk about, into a bit more of a traditional harem, with at this point three valid love interests. Anyway, so this flashback of I says, I'll respond to your confession next time we meet, okay? Back to the story, I should say. And Nagi kind of like pales with the sudden memory. Wah! For real, Kokkuri-san? What the heck? And Hiro is oddly stone-faced here. I'm curious why. Given all of the looks she's kind of been giving towards Sachi, I wonder if she kind of wanted it to be Sachi, for some strange, awful, horrible reason. To try to maybe get that elephant in the room to be talked about, maybe... Because there was also that scene back in fucking 46, I think, where she talks about, or 45, or 44, somewhere in that range, where she talks about, what's the thing that she talks about? that if Nagi and Sachi got married, then everything would resolve, which never really made any sense. But it was kind of pointed out at Hiro as sort of being into Nagi Sachi, or at least interested in the concept, I guess. I'm not entirely sure if I'm making any sense tonight right now, by the way. I just sort of realized I'm sounding kind of disconnected at times. Anyway, we then cut to something else. So that then next we have this is Hiro declaring the game over. Like she's kind of unsatisfied with what happened, like I kind of referred to earlier. And they set up, they're around a candle. 100 ghost stories? Yup. We prepare 100 candles, and for every story we tell, we put out a candle. And when we put out the last candle, Nagi kind of panicked. He's still kind of on edge from Kokkuri-san getting kind of really into his sort of psyche. Does something happen? Well, you'll just have to find out. That being said, we only have 3 candles, so we'll be telling just 3 stories. There's 4 of them, though. Is that really gonna fly? And Erika, who's apparently on an alien fix tonight. Me first. This one's about how the pyramids were actually made by aliens. And Nagi looks at her. You call that a ghost story? And just then, all the lights cut out. Eh? What happened? The candle suddenly went out. Nagi sort of sighs. Give me a break, Sachi. It was you, wasn't it? In any case, someone get the lights. And then we see everyone has vanished, and Nagi is alone in the dark. Guys? Huh? They're gone? And we see heroes, like, peeking behind a corner. I think they're all pranking him. Yeah, all 3 of them. As they're all sort of in a side room. And then Hiro turns to the other girls. Well then, question. In this situation, whose name will Umino-kun call out first? And Nagi's just in a panic. What's happening? Could it be Kokkuri-san? And Erika turns to her. I was wondering why you called out to us earlier. So it was just to do this? And Hiro kind of grins, ambushing him like this. Isn't it great? And then Sachi sort of gets on to them. Question. There's no way he wouldn't call out for Hiro-san. Just how much of a sore loser are you? You think? This is Hiro. I think it'd be Erika-chan. After all, she's his fiancée, and she's the master of the house. And Erika pushes back. No. In times like this, it'd be Hiro-chan as usual. He's always going on like Seigawa-san this and Seigawa-san that. And then Sachi sort of pouts. There aren't really 3 choices here, just 2. When the electricity goes out at home, he always calls out to Mom first thing. So there's Sachi's line there, which is interesting because no one is really directly called out to Sachi as a potential choice. I mean, it's definitely implied. It's definitely implied that he could call out Sachi's name. But, like, I don't know. Like, no one has said there are 3 choices directly. So I'm kind of uncertain what exactly she's responding to, I guess. Anyway, Nagi kind of slaps himself. Just get it together, man. I just need to find them. And they all watch him. Here he comes. I'm over here. It's me, Nagi. Help! Turns all of their expectations on its head. He called his own name, and he did nothing but ask for help. And then the lights turn on. And Sachi looks at him, just frustrated, I guess Nagi is, as Nagi does. And Hiro's sort of pouting at him. I'm disappointed in you, Umino-kun. And Erika's kind of sort of angry. You narcissist! And Nagi sort of looks at all of them. Oh, thank God. You were just over there? I was worried, Sachi. I don't like the implications of that. I do not like the implications of that. And all of them kind of freeze. Huh? And Sachi reacts, why me? Hiro and Erika look at each other. Erika sort of laughs. Hiro has a sort of W face. That was a dark horse outcome. Well, I guess it's only natural that he'll be worried about his sister. And let's hope that's all it is, Yoshikawa. Alright. Next time, doing chores with the Umino household's full power. Okay. This was sort of an interesting chapter. Also, hold on. Scrolling through it real fast, I just kind of thought of something. Specifically, and this might just be nothing, because I'm not entirely sure how this would work in Japanese. But I want to call attention, before I start getting into the retrospective more fully, to the eye gag, with what part of a girl's body does Nagi-kun check out first, and the answer is eye. And then Hiro asks, who was Umino-kun's first crush? And the answer, homophonically, is eye. Again. And again, I don't know enough about Japanese to really know if that is sort of just a coincidence of the English and Japanese languages, or if the actual line in Japanese is, an English spelling thing. I don't know, but it's an interesting coincidence, at the very least. Anyway, this chapter is a little odd to me, and maybe it's just that, while Kokkuri-san is basically just a different flavor of, Ouija board, it's different enough, in just its flavor, I guess, that it's still kind of hard to, I don't know, there's something slightly off about it as an English reader, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's just me, or maybe it's something more than just the kind of very Japanese style of its horror, not really, horror is a stretch, but ghost story aspect, maybe, I don't know, I don't really know, it's just sort of is a slightly off-kilter read. Maybe part of that is just the untranslatedness of the Kokkuri-san board. And I honestly don't know if there was another way to do that for an English audience. I'm not really familiar enough with how the board works to really say. But I don't know. And then there is the end, where he specifically calls out to Sachi, which hopefully, as I think that's Erika in the end, we don't actually see any kind of arrow indicating whether that's Hiro or Erika in the final line. But I do hope that in the end, is just because he's worried about his sister, and not because, she's the one he's really in love with. Because that would be really, really bad. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm familiar with my problems with Cuckoo, and it's just Sachi shipping. It really is just Sachi shipping. But the big thing this chapter gives us, though, is basically confirmation that the neighbor girl from 56 will, sooner rather than later, be joining the main cast, as a potential love interest for Nagi. And I feel like she's kind of going to be in that, Marika from Nisekoi style love interest, where, we know from the get-go they're never actually going to get together, and they just kind of have some maybe they have a nice rapport, maybe they have a good chemistry or something, but it will just sort of be buying time until, Nagi Eri or Nagi Hiro, which are almost certainly one of the two final girls of this harem. But hopefully she'll still have a fun enough dynamic with the rest of the cast that it won't just be a pain. Cuckoo has not really let me down yet outside of Sachi, and so I do have hope for her. Anyway, yeah, the chapter is just sort of kind of off. I'm not the biggest fan, but I am interested to see how when she joins the cast, will sort of interact with the rest of the cast, also kind of mesh. I'm looking forward to that. But next time, doing chores. So we'll see what all that leads to next week. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!